Hi guys, my name is Nonima Digela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to look at things that are not making sense when it comes to the confession, the so-called confession of Bongan dance. I just want us to break it down a bit and talk about it because what? All I can say actually at this stage is that Brigadier Geninda is not a good is not a good storyteller, even though he may sound convincing, but no, there's too many loopholes. There's too many questions that arise from everything that he says. I don't know if you catch me. There's everything that will make you, every time he opens his mouth, actually, he makes you want to ask more questions. That is where the, because every time he says his long explanations, you will end up being like, I have 3 questions from that, or I have 4 or 5 questions from what you just said, but I was still there. That, yo, it's too much. For instance, in that statement, the so-called uh, what you call confession, Undanzi, Uramsipile yesterday pointed out a lot of things that will make you like, is that even for real? In that statement, there is something where there is a part where Undanzi says, I was young. Let's start with that one simple sentence in the so-called confession. I was young. Young compared to who? Compared to who? And because that sentence already assumes they are co-accused, né? It also gives us a picture about the ages, but they are not known. The age group is not yet known, for instance. And also it gives us a clear indication about roles that are fixed that were played. But at that time, weirdly, at that time, there was no indictment, no formal charge, no definite or defined accused or co-accused, let's say, let's put it that way. So tell me, how does a man confess with information that only exists later? Do you see why I'm saying that man, Brigadier Geninda, is not a good storyteller? He just blah, 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 blah the entire time. That is not a memory. No, it can't be. That is a retroactive or retrospective scripting. And I go say, the scripting is not scripting at all. Then we were also told, Danziwa, in that statement, there is where it's in that so-called confession statement, there is where it speaks about a finger was pointed at me. I was scared. By who? When? Where? In a police van? In a cell? In a consultation? In a bathroom? But fear without context is not evidence, most. So what was that? It is justification inserted into a narrative by Geninda when he was busy writing this entire situation. If you are listening carefully, a reason created after a reason created after the fact. Now let's look at this. Okay, let's check this contradiction. The same man that says who says I don't even no, but Kinita is frustrating, guys. He says, okay, sorry, the confession also says that, and okay, it was not a confession now. Ukinida says that Untanzi was a gun smuggler. A gun smuggler who's going to say, I was young. A gun smuggler that's going to say, I was pointed at a finger. Make it make sense, please. Please make it make sense, guys. No, Ukinida is a terrible writer of tech. He's a terrible script writer. And then there is where he says in that statement, also the so-called confession, I know they were arrested around the country. Does it says, I don't even know what that means, around the country means. What does that mean? And also, which people were those that were arrested around the country? Because confessions do not say, I know people who were arrested. A confession says, I was there. Guys, it's a mess. That confession is a mess. If someone knows about the arrest, it means someone told him. And once police knowledge enters a confession, the confession becomes contaminated. Now, all of that, Jay, is the entire story, the narration is bad, guys. It's horrible. It is so badly written. It is so horrible. You can't. When you are trying to make sense of it, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't, guys. It is so bad. And also, this confession speaks as if there is places where it speaks as if Untanzi was not part of the planning. Also speaks as if someone was narrating a story with him, and also speaks as if he was part of the Ndondo. You can hear their added portions where they want to add the smaller nyana gun, where they want to add the traveling, where they want to. There's a lot of things that are not making sense, guys. I don't know. But in a nutshell, what I like a lot about this entire situation is how Ramasipile made sure he rubbishes everything. He rubbishes everything. He rubbished this in the entire so-called confession statement. He rubbished the lawyer story. When it comes to the lawyer story, let's talk about the lawyer story a bit. We are asked to believe that consultations happened by Gininda. Strategies were discussed by Gininda. Ne? He is expecting us to believe those things. He also expects us to believe that confession options were weighed. That's what he wants us to believe. But all before the man was even charged. Don't you get first charged and then everything else follows? Because now the charge happened according to what they did in October. So if all of this happened before October when he was charged, then why was there a confession with no indictment, no formal accusation, no written charge? So what exactly was the lawyer advising on if all of this did not happen in June, if these things happened in June, and then the person was charged in October? Do you understand what I'm struggling with here? I don't know if you guys catch me. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. So exactly what was the lawyer doing there? A lawyer cannot negotiate benefits for a case that does not legally exist, guys. That is not a legal strategy. That is fiction. There's a lot of situations when you are looking into the story of Gininda that he was telling the courtroom and expect South Africans to believe you are like, hi man, gay, what nonsense is this? Then the more danger, it comes the most dangerous contradiction of all. This guy has been saying, hey, I don't know anything. Then suddenly he wants to confess. He says, I've always, when he dealt with that part, I've always wanted to confess. Always. Guys, honestly, always. Then what stopped him from confessing? Okay. He got arrested on the 7th, on the 16th of June. And confession days later, different cells moved between provinces, different cells, different officers. And there was no assault as the state insisted and wants us to believe. Then what changed on that exact day? What changed? Because confessions do not just ripen. They are triggered by something. And nobody can explain to us what triggered the so-called confession. And then Ukininda wants us to believe that, no, it was triggered because his alibi at work failed. I know. So because the so-called alibi failed, now suddenly he suddenly remembers Untanzi, according to Gininda. The driver, accused number 5. The spotter, accused number 4. The shooter, accused number 3. The planner, perhaps accused number 1. That is not psychologically, guys. That's not psychology at all. That is a role assignment. And this was Gininda who was doing this. And that is not a confession. This is Gininda doing casting for his movie. He was everything, a head script writer, a head director of casting director, because this is casting on its best, at its best. And here's the question that I have that breaks the entire case. What exactly cracked the entire case? Was it Absalom Zungu? Was it Constable Zungu? Was it Gwabini? Was it Makosonke? Or the confessions? Please tell us, Gininda. What exactly? What exactly? If the answer is all of them, then none of them can be trusted. It doesn't make sense, because the real investigation do not work like that. Real investigations don't work like that, guys. One fact leads to another. Here, everything is being used to hold everything else together. So what we must ask is that, what exactly is this man confessing to? Was he not caught at the scene? Was there forensic link? What triggered this? What is the independent trigger for this situation to happen, for the so-called confession? What charge was there? Yet someone or somehow he knows who did what. Sorry, who else was arrested? Who else who played what role, and why he should be afraid? That is not the truth, guys. It doesn't make sense. That is narrative assembled backwards by a script writer and a horrible casting director. It can't be a confession that emerged. It was a constructed confession. And they expect us to believe it without asking these questions. That is not justice. That is insult to our intelligence. We are being insulted. I don't know about you, but I have so many questions. Let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. I'll see you on our next video. What are your thoughts when it comes to this? Bye-bye.